Hey y'all, how's it going this afternoon? Today we have one of our first canning projects of the year. Actually, I should take that back because we already made baked beans this year. But this is our first canning project from fresh produce out of our field, off of our farm. I don't know if y'all saw the post that I made on here. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days ago. I had picked 5 gallons of sugar snap and English peas, and I sat there and shelled them all. I've probably got, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8 pints worth of peas. Sorry about that. And we're going to get these pressure canned today. Let's get started. Here they are, all beautiful and washed. It's kind of late season, so you'll see a couple, let me see. Like this one, it's kind of turning a little bit lighter green. That's why I wanted to go out there and get as many picked as I could. We do not sell these. He plants these for me to can. So out of all the labor and planting them and fertilizer and stuff, I really wanted to get what I could out of this. Now, if you are wondering how many pounds I ended up with a little bit over 5, like 5 pounds and about 20 ounces, I think is what it said. Now, that is not the whole 5-gallon bucket. Some of them were a little too early and I couldn't use them. Some of them were a little too late and they were turning bitter. So I composted those, but I still have plenty to put away. Now I do have my pressure canner pretty much ready to go. There's about 2 quarts of water in here. There's my rack on the bottom. And this came with my rack. Really, it's supposed to go in between the rack and the jars to kind of help with the rattling, which I thought that was nice. So this is my first time using these. So we're going to see how much I like it. And I will put them down below in my description for my affiliate account if you're interested. But I am going to pour a little bit of just regular white distilled vinegar in here because I have a well and I have very hard water. And what this does is it helps keep the calcification off my jars. And that helps me in the long run. Y'all, this recipe is probably one of the easiest canning recipes I'll do this year. I've got my canning salt right here. And for half a pint, you do half a teaspoon of salt. And that is absolutely optional. You don't have to have the salt. But I like to do it because it adds just enough extra flavor. I just put half a teaspoon in every jar. Now if you're doing quarts, you can do a teaspoon. Okay, so now we're ready to put our peas in here. I've got my canning funnel, and this makes pouring and scooping things so much easier. Both of these came in a canning kit that I have, and I will put that in the description also. I use this every single year, and it has been such a lifesaver. And I fill it to about an inch headspace. So
no, I'm not gonna sit
there. About like that. About like that. Maybe a few less. I always use like this bottom line right here as a guide. That's a pretty good eyeball for me. Now you just want to keep filling your jars.
Hang on, Mandel.
Okay, so I have that much left. It's probably not even going to be half of a pint, so I'm just gonna snack on these. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8 pints out of a little over 5 pounds. I wish I had doubled that, but next year. So now, next step is we're just going to put water in these. All right, so now we've got just regular plain water out of the sink, and you are going to fill these jars up to 1 inch headspace again. No, because it's a raw pack. Take your bubble popper, just kind of go around the edges like this. And sometimes you won't, but other times you might have to top off just a little bit up here. Peas, I don't really ever have that problem.
Are you almost done?
Just a second. That one I'm going to put a little bit more water in it, not much. There we go.
Oopsie, one pea fall out.
It did. Okay, so you're just going to clean around your rims. Really with this, you did just use water, but just make sure there's no grains of salt or anything up there.
It's away. Now the squish.
Because if there is, it will not seal right. And we don't want that. Okay? Now we're going to put our rings and seals on. Seal them fingertip tight. So I do have a jar of water right here, and I'm just going to put a used seal on it and a ring. And what this is going to do is, let me look at y'all. What that jar of water is going to do is in my canner, I can fit 8 around the side and then 1 in the middle. So this is just going to keep them from falling over. So we're going to stick these in our canner. So we have all of our jars in here. See, my one with the water is in the middle. And there we have it. I've got my lid on. Now we'll be back as soon as a steady stream of steam starts coming out of here. Yes, this is a very, very old pressure canner, but just by a new seal, I got a new rack for it, and it's good to go. It still works all the same. We will be right back. Now we have if I can talk, our steady stream of steam. I don't know if you can see it. There it is a little bit. But what we're gonna do is I'm going to put it at 15 pounds of pressure for 40 minutes. And my elevation is 1693. Actually, I believe. Yeah, I know it's 1600 and something. And for a weighted pressure canner, 1,000 feet and above for peas is 15 pounds of pressure for 40 minutes, 4 pints or quarts. I do have this on high, but I am going to turn it down just a little bit. Excuse that, my daughter was playing over here a minute ago. And once this starts rattling off and on, I will show you. But then we're going to kind of kind of watch this because I do end up adjusting it a little bit lower as time goes on. But once this starts rattling, and I'll show you the rattle I want, then I'm going to turn the timer on. Now it is rattling, but this is not the rattle you want. You want it to rattle for a few seconds and stop for a few seconds. So I'm going to turn the heat down to about a 7. It was like at an 8.5. And I just gradually turn it down until I get exactly what I want. Alright, y'all, they are done. Here's my jar of water. Here's our peas. And our first fresh product canning project of the year is done. That one had some siphoning. That's okay. It is sealed, so it's not going to be a problem. But yeah, I wish I would have got at least 10 or 12 of these. That's fine. I'll know next year. But there they are. Alright, y'all, and that project is done. That's it for today. I will catch y'all next time. Have a good night.